it on?
Yep.
Hello, my name is Dave Banker. I am the young adult librarian at the Radford Public Library, and I'm about to take part in this Ice Bucket dealing. But before we get to that, I would like to say a few things. If you would bear with me for about 2.5 minutes. When all of this Ice Bucket business began several weeks ago, I thought to myself, another internet fad. Great. And at first I decided I wasn't going to take part in that. Fads are not really my thing. And I thought all these videos of people dumping ice water over their heads is kind of silly. And they aren't really doing anything to educate me about what ALS really is. So why should I bother? After doing some research, I have to say I'm a little ashamed to have had that attitude. Because I found out that ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects the nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. Eventually, people with ALS lose the ability to initiate and control muscle movement, which often leads to total paralysis and death within 2 to 5 years of diagnosis. There is no cure, and only one drug approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration that modestly extends survival. Furthermore, veterans are approximately twice as likely to be affected with this disease. My father is a veteran. With this information in mind, and the newly acquired knowledge that even though I don't personally know anyone with ALS, I do have friends who know people who suffer from it, how could I just sit passively by and not take the opportunity to help out? As of Saturday, August 16th, 2014, thanks to a silly internet fad, the ALS Association has received $11.4 million in donations compared to $1.7 million during the same time period last year, July 29, August 16. These donations have come from existing donors and 220,255 new donors to the association. But why are we focused only on just one group, when so many organizations exist which are also in need of our help? If you aren't into having ice buckets poured over your head, and I don't blame you if that's the case, I would urge you to acknowledge the fact that in addition to the ALS Association, you can also easily donate to the American Cancer Society, the Autism Society of America, the National Audubon Society, the Humane Society of the United States, the Children's Aid Society, the Wounded Warriors Project, and the Alzheimer's Society, just to name a very few. So who do I nominate? I nominate you. If you are watching this video, I nominate you. Short on money, like me? Set aside a couple of dollars with each paycheck. These organizations aren't going anywhere, and in a few months, you will have a small chunk of change to donate. That's my plan. I think it's a pretty decent one. Lastly, don't let it stop there with donations and ice buckets. In a world where we are bombarded daily with such terrible news stories, from the riots in Ferguson, Missouri, to tensions between Israel and Palestine, and Russia and the Ukraine, to the Ebola crisis, to the very sad passing of Robin Williams, to the absolute horror occurring in Iraq and Syria, I urge you to take advantage of the fact that with every little kindness you show to another person, the world becomes a little bit nicer for all of us to live in. Pay it forward, hold the door for a stranger, call your mom, smile more often, and above all, please do not allow yourself to be mired in cynicism. It isn't worth it. We can't afford it. Now, I will stop being so serious and we can let the shenanigans begin. Gentlemen, if you would.